Hey there, welcome to another episode of Football Everyday, coming to you live and direct as usual from the studios of Manogaran in PJ. My name is Nelsen. Joining me today, Yee and Yee, Brian Martin, I tell you what, very special guest, our star sports editor, Mr. R. Manogaran, who is an avid Liverpool fan, of course. Manu, good to see you with us. Thanks for taking time off from your busy schedule to join us for the season wrap-up. I tell you what, before we start our final episode of Football Everyday, let me say that Brian, Ian and myself are quite sad considering Man United were about 2 minutes away from snatching the title.
90 seconds.
90 seconds, if not for a certain Sergio Aguero. Well, I'll tell you what, which leads us nicely into our season wrap-up. I'm starting with Brian. You said last week that it really was City's title to lose, and they almost did it, but credit to them overall, Brian?
Yeah. Overall, I mean, over the course of 9 months, not just one game, not just 2 minutes, they deserve to win the title. That's indisputable. Because the league table doesn't lie. Even though same points as United, still a very much superior goal difference. Yeah, there was, last day dramatics, and if you're a United fan, you would have been taken to the highs, to the lows, to the highs again, and then back to the really lows. But congrats to City. You deserve it.
Is that why you're wearing sky blue? Yeah, I mean, you and every other United fan, I would probably say that it was the Everton draw, if not the loss at Wigan that cost them the title. I mean, so is this your opinion as well, or did United just not perform to the standards that we've been used to over the years this season?
Yeah, it's true, right? That everybody, I think most people agree that this isn't the United that we were used to see over the last 20 years, which is a testament to what Sir Alex Ferguson has done.
Yep.
Because this is the best City side we've seen in so long, and yet United were just that far behind, pipping them to the title. So you gotta give some props to Ferguson. But the team, I think we can't just point to those two games. I think throughout the whole season they were inferior to City.
Okay, well, and speaking of your team, sorry, before we get to Liverpool, Mano, this is the first time a BPL season we know has been decided by goal difference. So, I mean, your thoughts on the season as a whole? I mean, do they echo Ian and Brian?
I was jumping for joy when City won it. Sorry, guys. Okay, but I think City deserve to win it. They just deserve it. Style of play, entertainment-wise, playing skills and play for player, City were much better.
Do you think it shows how keenly contested the BPL has become? I mean, now it's being decided on such marginal differences.
It is so, and also I think so because of the money being pumped in. United used to get all the best players, but now you see City, Chelsea, and all that are throwing in the money and buying big name players.
Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
we try, but not good enough, But yeah, it is getting keener. I think next season we even, I would say not the two teams, but I think more than two teams will be involved next season.
Which is one thing City fans need to be careful about, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a United fan, but this has been, for most of the top clubs, this has been the worst season for a very long time.
Exactly.
Chelsea were in disarray under Villas-Boas. The league was lost for them right at the start of the season. Liverpool had a pretty bad season. Arsenal, as usual, up and down. Spurs could not sustain it. United are still in transition, let's face it. Lots of young players coming in.
Newcastle.
And Newcastle Newcastle has been able to join the mix because of how all these other top teams were failing. So City have to be careful. They won the league by just that much against teams that were really not doing that well.
Hard work to keep it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Mano, speaking of your team, Liverpool, I mean, they finished their season with a rather disappointing 1-0 defeat at Swansea. With their League Cup triumph, at least they ended their trophy drought, but and fared one better than empty-handed United. But surely an 8th place finish, which, mind you, is their lowest since 1993, behind local rivals Everton, isn't good enough for a club of the stature of Liverpool.
Definitely not. The League Cup is, how I say, Mickey Mouse Cup, we call it. No? It's nothing. It's the league. It's the bread and butter. I still remember Bill Shankly used to say, the league is our bread and butter, and that is what we should go for, not the cups. Not even FA Cup. Even let's say we had won FA Cup, I'd still say it will be a mediocre season for us.
Okay, well, over at the wrong end of the table, final day drama saw Bolton joining Blackburn and Wolves in the Championship as they could only manage a 2-2 draw at Stoke City. It really was very marginal, but would you say Owen Cole's men deserved to go down ahead of Queen's Park Rangers, Brian?
Actually, I mean, I was happy QPR stayed up, because of the Malaysian connection. But I have to say, Owen Cole's men were really, really unlucky. I mean, if you look at it at the league table, say even 3 weeks ago, you would have bet money that Bolton would stay up. It was either between Wigan or QPR, especially. But both these teams, seem to have
found
the extra gear. Wigan, especially Roberto Martinez, did an amazing job in the last 5-6 games of the season. QPR, who would have thought, beat Liverpool, beat Arsenal, beat Spurs.
Yeah.
Last few
And they
games
beat
of the season.
Stoke as well.
And they beat Stoke. So amazing run.
So Roberto Martinez could be headed for Liverpool next season. Meanwhile, Arsenal secured the much coveted third place following a 3-2 win over West Brom at the Hawthorns. Following that result, Arsene Wenger has said Robin van Persie is now more likely to stay at the club. So your thoughts on that as the Gunners season and the Gunners season on the whole, Ian? You mentioned Arsenal, right?
Yeah, that's kind of a weird thing to say, right? I mean, it's sort of like admitting that you knew that there was a point where your club was an inferior option compared to other clubs who would be in the Champions League. I think it's something that it's an illusion that you shouldn't shatter. You should always just keep saying that, you know, he's gonna stay, and keep the morale high. So I'm not quite sure why he said that. It's quite a weird thing to say. But Arsenal, if they manage to keep Robin van Persie, it's gonna be the same thing over and over again for next season. I think I don't see them really hitting anywhere unless they make a few really big signings. Gervinho is going to be a much better player after this season, but still,
Podolski's coming in.
Yeah, Podolski is a great signing, I think, but I don't know.
I think they set they got the base there. Podolski has come in. I think he's got a few more signings to make and all that. I think they should be one of the
Okay, very quickly. I mean, over at White Hart Lane, Spurs quite comfortably saw off Fulham by 2-0, but it was enough to pip Arsenal. And though they're fourth, Mano, their efforts could be in vain if Chelsea beat Bayern Munich in Champions League, right?
Which I hope they do. Because I've got Spurs fans who are really getting a bit cocky, if I can say so, you know, and they've been ribbing me about my team. So I hope Chelsea make it and kick them out.
Wow. Okay, nicely said. Thanks a lot for your thoughts. Hang on to them. We'll be right back with more chat and banter real soon on Football Everyday, but it is time for our customary break here on the show, so we'll see you real soon. Hey there, welcome back to Football Everyday here in the second and final segment of today's episode. Tell you what, we're done and dusted with this season, so we're looking forward to next season, and that's the way football is, right? Well, we know that Reading and Southampton have made it back into the Premier League, and we'll be joined by either West Ham or Blackpool, who will be making an immediate return to top flight football. So your thoughts on the likes of Reading and Southampton back in the big time?
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Reading play fantastic football. They used to play in the Premier League. Southampton, we miss them. They had good players. In fact, most of the players are sold to Arsenal.
Theo Walcott and Alex.
They are a fantastic team, fantastic footballing team, and I would expect West Ham to join them.
West Ham. I mean, Ian, would your thoughts echo that? I mean, is your pick West Ham or Blackpool going into this weekend's playoff final?
I guess we have to go to most Premier League fans would like to see West Ham back in the Premier League, right? But you can't take it away from Ian Holloway and Blackpool. They worked hard to get where they are, and on a playoff, anything can happen. So. It's going to be interesting.
All right. Well, with the season having ended, plans for the future are already being made with all sorts of transfer speculation surfacing. The most notable one at the moment would be France's Player of the Year for the second time in a row in the form of Lille's Eden Hazard, who has dropped a hint that he'll be playing in Manchester, though no mention of City or United. Between the two, Brian, United have a greater need for him, you think?
Definitely, United have a great need for him. I think City are full of midfielders, creative or defensive, you know, and Hazard would just be just another midfielder there. I don't know if he's going to be the new Cristiano Ronaldo, but having seen a couple of Lille games, I think he's a very good player, and he would definitely make a difference. I would say more a younger version of Paul Scholes.
Worth breaking the bank for.
Worth breaking the bank for.
I mean, Ian, they've also been linked with the likes of Borussia Dortmund's Shinji Kagawa and Robert Lewandowski. That's a striker and a midfielder, so what do you make of that?
I'm definitely excited about Shinji Kagawa. I'm not too sure about the Polish guy. Can't really even pronounce his name. But Kagawa, I've seen some games with Kagawa involved, and he's absolutely
been brilliant this season, right?
Absolutely. Two really good feet. He can score goals with either foot. Great finisher. He's good running with the ball. He can pass the ball around, ping the ball all over the field. So that's exactly the kind of player United need.
You think another factor that Ferguson is looking at him is that he's a winner. He's now won 2 league titles in a row with Borussia Dortmund. They've won the Cup double as well this season.
He definitely has that experience of handling all these pressure cooker situations. So he's going to be a great signing, I think, long term.
I get the impression that United are looking at Asian players probably to sell more jerseys. You know,
for
Park. Remember they went for Dong Fang Zhao.
But the thing is, you have to see that Park has actually been very, very good for United, I think. Park was a very good sign. Dong Fangzhou obviously was a failed experiment. But I think Shinji Kagawa, you can't deny it. When you watch the way he plays, he is a good player. So hopefully this isn't just, I don't think it's a marketing thing. Maybe half-half, you know.
But hopefully he comes in and does,
yeah, because he's
does
also going to be
business,
cheap.
If you bring him in, do you think he'll be a better addition to the players they already have?
Yeah, I think so.
Think
I
so?
really think he will be. Because players like he's quite similar to Park in that sense. He can play on the wing and he's quite versatile. So Park is already 31 I think this year. So it might be his time to go. So to bring in someone like Kagawa is perfect. He's only 23. He's not going to cost much because his contract is running out. So I think it's a great signing.
All right, I mean, well, Brian, now that City are champions, it pains me to say that, Mancini will surely be given more spending money, right?
Yeah, I mean, when Mourinho won the title with Chelsea, the very next season, Abramovich threw a lot more money at him and said, okay, God, win me the Champions League. And I think City's owners will tell Mancini the same thing. You've won the title now, your target is the Champions League. And having said that, City have to be careful, okay? Because they were very lucky to win the title this season, even though they had a superior team. With a few more players, would it make a difference? Manu said, like, you know, getting a midfielder in, would it make a difference to the present team that they have? I think he has to be careful.
To complicate things, right?
Yeah.
Because we've already seen this season. One of their downfalls was players like Tevez, Balotelli causing problems.
Too many egos.
Jacko had a few drops as well, so could make things worse.
Right. Okay, well, another team that could use a bit of rebuilding is Liverpool. I mean, Dirk Kuyt has expressed his frustrations at a lack of first-team action, while certain supporters want to see the back of Kenny. So, in what way do you see changes being made at Liverpool next season?
It all depends on what the owners have to say. They've been very quiet about Kenny Dalglish, but I think, judging from what's happening, I think he might go. And if he were to go, the names being mentioned is Roberto Martinez. I would prefer Rafa Benitez back.
To come back.
You know, to steady the ship. And I think he has got unfinished business in the EPL. As for players, if Kenny stays, he definitely has to go out and get better players than what he has.
Someone to complement Suarez, perhaps.
Exactly, you know. I can't remember. I can't think of any names right now. But definitely, I know the players that he should be shipping out. People like Jordan Henderson, maybe out on loan, and get more experience.
Right.
Akulani.
Akulani is no. Let him stay in Italy. I think he's more suited to that game there. It's too slow for us.
How about Charlie Adams?
Charlie Adams is a bit how would I say. He needed time to blend into the Liverpool style of play. He was like a big fish in a small pond, and now he's in a bigger pond. So I think he needs time. He's a good player. He can give the kind of passes that Alonso used to give, but only thing is his tackling. He's another Paul Scholes there.
All right. Very quickly, we spoke about Arsenal, so let's take a quick look at an aging Chelsea squad, which surely needs bolstering in a few departments, right, Brian?
Yeah. I think the one team that's going to buy big and buy a number of players will be Chelsea. You know. Abramovich has the money.
Especially if they win the Champions League this season.
If they win the Champions League,
definitely, right?
Will Di Matteo be there? I don't know. Would you want to bring in Mourinho? I mean, if you ask an average Chelsea fan, they'll say yes. Bring in Mourinho, you know, and ring the changes.
But Mourinho said he intends to stay at Real.
I mean, if Chelsea come a calling, you never know.
Never know. Okay. Very quickly, we're done and dusted with the EPL. But tell you what, in 3 weeks or so, Euro 2012 is around the corner, guys. So very quickly, let me get your thoughts. Who are your favourites going to the tournament, Ian?
Actually, you asked me for a second. Spain.
I mean, personal favourites or footballing favourites?
Footballing favourites. Personal favourites, I always have a soft spot for England, of course. But I think Spain lah.
Right, Mano?
My personal favourite is Spain, but I think the team that's going to win this is Holland this year.
Oh, Brian, you're going to say Holland?
Actually, I agree. I was going to say Holland. I like Holland. I like the way they put the team together. But my personal favourite, like Ian, is England. You know? But they're not going to get past the group stage.
No Germany, really?
Yeah? But you have got to say it's England. Spain, Germany, and Holland, perhaps, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, tell you what, thanks a lot for your thoughts. It's been great having you the whole season. Been great having you on this episode as well, Manu. Tell you what, we're done and dusted with football every day. Thanks a lot for your thoughts and feedback. If you want to send us an email, do send it to us at football@thestar.com.my. Till we see you in about 3 to 4 weeks' time for the Euros. Thanks a lot for watching, and it's bye from us from Football Every Day.